The Weirdos were out in full force today protesting in Florida at Disneyland or whatever, Disney's headquarters in Florida about the Don't Say Gay bill, which nowhere in there has anything that refers to that. And this is one of those weird circumstances where the right are actually pushing back by calling it the anti-groomer bill, which, again, there's nowhere in there. But, hey, if the left wants to raise the rhetoric where the right has been losing for fucking generations, and now that the right is finally pushing back and they're saying, oh, you're being hyperbolic and language matters, meanwhile, they've been perverting it for fucking decades at this point. So, you reap what you sow, fuck off, deal with the pressure that you've escalated, let's be fair. Disney employees protest to force company to oppose anti-grooming laws. And again, because of the corporatism that's happening right now, lobbying companies, which pay off politicians. You can see that it's just on the open secrets page. You can see how much all the Hollywood studios, all of the big food companies, cleaning companies, like everybody in the world pays these fucking politicians on both sides of the aisle because they want to garner political favor. It's the fucking name of the game. And if you don't work on any of those campaign finance reforms, you're going to continue to get this deep ingratiation of big business and government. But because the left normally protests a little bit better, that's why they're starting to delve really deep into this whole corporatism thing where it's like, we love big business, we love big government because they bend to our will because we complain the loudest and we don't ever question anything that our big overlords do because we just want to line up so we're on the right side of history. Ugh. Next place you should line up is right against the wall. Anyways, Walt Disney Company employees at corporate locations across the United States protesting Disney to force the company to fight Don't Groom Kids laws such as the Florida bill that restricts the teaching of sexuality and transgenderism and really any sort of sexuality teaching to kindergarten through grade 3 kids. This is what all of this stuff is all about. Now, okay, I tried to do some thinking about my K through 3 years, and that's really tough because A, it was a long time ago, and B, I don't remember a lot of my childhood, not because of like any sort of repressed memories, I don't think. Well, it'd be tough to kind of just figure that out, but I don't spend a lot of time in the past because I don't really find it all that useful, especially when you're that young. You should just kind of be focusing on learning to read properly, doing addition, subtraction, maybe a little bit of multiplication and some division as well. You shouldn't be worried about what you're doing with your little non-functioning dick and where you want to put it. That seems fucking batshit insane. Okay? There shouldn't be a 10-week long or a block in your curriculum in social studies where it comes out to, oh, well, Timmy has 2 dads. And what about if Jimmy has a mother who likes to fuck her dog and they got little fucking oven mitts and big 25-gallon drums of peanut butter around the house. So how do you explain all this stuff? It really doesn't matter. You want to talk about that type of stuff? Do it for your little extracurricular activities, fine. You want to do it outside of school? Go ahead and I'd be a groomer elsewhere, not in public schools. That's all that this law focuses on. And of course, if you want to go do that, I'd be paying attention to your internet traffic and especially what kind of a vehicle you drive, if you're a big panel van enthusiast or not. Disney employees are planning a walkout on Tuesday to protest Bob Chapek's response to the Florida bill, which those people and their allies have dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill. And as you can see, yeah, the activists that are out there, boy, they look very uniform in their response, don't you say? Just look at all of those well-produced signs that just all kind of line up with one another. And especially because now that we actually have like a large-scale right-wing protest to compare and contrast with, you've seen a lot of drawing on the back of, like dirty trucks and stuff when you want to get your message across there. A lot of handmade signs, a lot of poster board, a lot of cutout letters, as opposed to these just beautifully produced and beautifully printed signs that they have out there in Disneyland. It's just, hey, it just kind of raises a little bit of a flag for me just to say, one side of this equation is very well funded, and you'd have to think, why are they promoting so much activism and so much protest? It's almost like they're using these useful idiots to continue to push the whole corporatism angle. I'm just saying. The staffers announced their plans on the website whereischapek.com and on an Instagram account called Disney Walkout. That's nice. Recent statements and lack of action by the Walt Disney Corporation leadership regarding the Don't Say Gay or Trans bill. It also is Don't Say Straight, if we're going to be that disingenuous about the characterization of the 7-page long bill, have utterly failed to match the magnitude of the threat to the alphabet people, their safety represented by this legislation. Okay, I've seen that been thrown out there by these weirdos a lot. How is this hurting them at all? You can't indoctrinate, you can't groom 5, 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. Okay, if that's foundational and at the heart of your cause, you might not be a good person. Just saying. We have been forced into an impossible and unsustainable position, they added. We must now take action to convince the Walt Disney Corporation to protect employees and their families. And again, if you're worried about indoctrinating K through 3 kids, there's a good chance you probably don't have a traditional family that could produce offspring. And again, unless Disney on the United States side of this is hiring child slave workers, I don't think anybody's being hurt by this legislation. Just saying. Maybe they got a couple of people there. Obviously, the ones that are protesting outside there probably have the mental acumen of a kindergartner, so maybe somebody's being affected. Disney has been under attack from the inside and outside pressure over its initial silence regarding the Florida bill, mostly because it probably just passed and nobody there cared. They were probably too busy trying to strike deals with, I don't know, Qatar to build nice outdoor arenas with air conditioning. Trying to put a mouse head on one of those concentration camps in China. Earlier this month, after the Walt Disney Corporation facing a wrath of left-wing activists, Chapek caved to the woke mob and announced the company is pledging $5 million towards LGBTQ groups in response to the Florida bill. And also he caved a little bit harder because of course he did. Disney is launching a task force. Oh, cool. Are they going to be marching and campaigning to It's a Small World After All? Because they're after kids to make more LGB whatever plus content for the children and families. Thank God. Okay. It's like, what? At this point, why are you supporting big corporations like this? It's like, I haven't seen anything, and I pay at least tangential attention to what Hollywood and big business is doing. I've been less than enthusiastic about their output for probably like a decade and a half, even longer at this point. Like, I like original content. I like, whenever I do like to dive into entertainment, non-political content that just seems pretty fine. Like, I look down at most of my movie collection. I don't see anything newer than, well, like I said, I checked out of movies in about 2014. Like, Iron Man 3 was the last movie that I seen for a home release because that was just so atrociously written. Then I'm like, okay, cool. If that's the direction that, well, specifically Disney and Marvel are going to be going, I think I've seen enough. And I was already just waning based off of Iron Man 2 because that was a fucking disaster in and of itself. And yeah, the last movie that I went to the theater to see was Dark Knight Rises, and I think that was 2014, 2012 or something like that. It's like, I wasn't a big movie going guy anyways, but I look at everything that I see here and it's just a bunch of the classics. Like, I see Terminator that's over there, Rocky movies, the original Spider-Man, like the first 3 that came out, the good ones, Scarface, mob movies, James Bond collection, up to and including Skyfall, but that's about oh no, Spectre's up there as well. Sorry, my mistake. But I haven't forked over $1 to Hollywood since, yeah, probably 2015 or something like that. Maybe that was the last time I bought a movie or anything like that. It's because they were just kind of doubling down on those identity politics even harder than before, and I wasn't gonna have any of it. Okay, like, there's only so many times that I can see Scarlett Johansson kick 95 guys, not just any guys, like 285-pound fucking mixed martial artists' asses with just a can of mace and her fucking good looks. There's only so much a disbelief I can suspend when it comes to this nonsense. So, and now that they're moving on to trying to sexualize children, because let's be fair, that's all that this is. Okay, at the end of the day, the alphabet community, That's all they care about, their sexual urges. And it's like, okay, cool. I know gay people who the central founding principle of their life has nothing to do with what they do in their bedroom. Okay, they're just trying to live a normal life like most people. Okay, but then again, this is what you get with just some absolutely dumb individuals when they can only think in terms of collectivism. Okay, a group think. It's like, oh my god, if anything bad happens to my gay friend, my hypothetical gay friend that I've never really met, but I've interacted with them on Twitter, and I don't necessarily know if they're real or even who they say they are, but they have the right flag next to their name and they have pronouns in their bio, so I know that they're a good person, right? And if anything, and this Florida bill, oh my god, I heard the people on MSNBC say that this was the Don't Say Gay bill, so that's bad because then my friend could be hunted down and killed in the streets by some of those damn mega people. Cool. That's the quality of people that show up to this because they're lacking responsibility and meaning and drive in their own life, so that they think, hey, if I can just push this cause that's being pushed and supported by every big corporation that's out there, hey, I'll be a part of something. I'll be on the right side on this one. Sure thing. Anyways, let's get into this stupid dumb Disney shit. A groveling Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, on Monday told employees the company should have condemned Florida's parental rights and education bill that blocked the teaching of sexuality and transgender ideology to students in kindergarten through third grade, speaking 24 hours before mutinous staff planned to walk out during a day-long strike. That's nice. A virtual town hall for employees was used by management to stem internal strife at Disney as the company's chief executive continued to apologize and shifted its public statements about legislation, which critics falsely call the Don't Say Gay bill. People who can't read. Let's just not even give them the respect of calling them critic. We know the moment requires urgency, and words are not enough. That's nice. That's why you're going to continue to say more words. So we're taking some actions right now. Ooh, one of those actions involves releasing a statement of apology and contradiction. Again, words aren't enough, so here's more words for past actions, as well as a special task force to develop action plan to make more LGBT aware content for children and family. Develop a plan. Okay, listen, we're going to do this. We're going to make this action committee. Actually, we're just going to, talk about it and just wait for all the heat to die down so you fucking weirdos will just, I don't know, move on to something else. Maybe a country that you don't like will just go invade somebody else, and you guys can change your Twitter profiles for a minute and just fuck off and leave us alone. Let the adults run the company. How about that? Chapek drew pointed criticism by saying in a company-wide memo March 7th, declaring the corporation can make the biggest impact by creating a more inclusive world through an inspiring content we produce. And again, you haven't done that in a long fucking time because, again, I invoked the comparisons not that long ago. There have been, like a handful of Star Wars and Marvel series released over the past year. If you guys can remember even some of the story beats from WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, what was it, Book of Boba Fett, and Star Wars. There was the Star Wars one that it kind of looked like an anime or something like that. If you can remember any of those beat for beat, God bless you, because you're in the severe minority. Because the biggest impact that they're having right now is just wasting people's time and then just producing more content for idiots to just slurp up. So if you're expecting Disney to do the right thing, sorry, you have the wrong perception of reality, because you shouldn't be expecting big companies to ever do the right thing. Or again, hinge your opinion on life about what some fucking executive in a C-level suite, if your life is that meaningless that you follow the whims and the messaging that comes out of big business, I don't know, just do everybody a favor and fucking take a long walk off a short pier in a video game or something like that, you fucking weirdos. Spend less time on Twitter, go outside, it's a nice place outside, it's spring already, for fuck's sakes. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo, why don't you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.